Here's a bonus section for everyone who has watched our recent webinar with Kurt Elster and I about why your Shopify PPC campaigns are not working. So this one is coming from the execution realm. And here's a mistake that you may be making. Your best campaigns are losing market share due to budget caps. Let me elaborate on this. Your best campaigns don't need budget caps. And here's what I mean. If your campaign is performing well, or if your multiple campaigns are performing very well, it's best if you have the maximum, or if you get the maximum traffic for those campaigns. And the challenge is that sometimes you may not even know that you are losing market share for those particular campaigns. Let me show you an example. Here's an example of lost market share for one of our clients. What you can see here is that we start losing up to 32% of market share due to budget in week 4. For this particular client, we had a limited budget, and since we were pacing evenly and there was more opportunity in the market, so for us to meet the budget, we started capping everything to stay within the target budget. But what we have noticed is that since we're going closer to the end of the month, the market share loss due to budget is increasing. And that's the metric that you should be looking at. And the metric is called search impression share lost. Okay, let's go over another example. You can pull this metric up for all of your campaigns and understand how much market share you're losing for your campaigns. And in this example, you can see that the market share lost ranges from 4% all the way down to 54%. And that's a huge number. And if these campaigns are your best campaigns, you may be losing sales and profitable orders and profitable customers. So I will show you how to identify that particular area and how to get to this particular metric. So within AdWords, you need to add another column or just simply pull up the metric in your charts. And the metric is essentially search lost impression share due to budget. It looks like this. So you want to go to modify your columns, then you'll find this metric under competitive metrics, and you'll have to enable this particular column. So you'll be able to see everything that you need to identify if you're losing any market share due to budget. Now, if you're running display campaigns on Google AdWords, you'll also need to pull this metric up, which is display lost impression share due to budget. Or you can use both. Once you pull the metric, your next step is to understand the situation, and then, of course, increase the budgets. But you want to increase your budgets with performance in mind. And I like to bucket things into 3 major categories. So 1, you'll have campaigns that are essentially great. They're your best campaigns. Your CPAs are healthy. You want to get more of the traffic. So increase the budget. I think it's pretty straightforward. And you don't need any limits for those particular campaigns. Now, if we flip things over, you'll have some campaigns that are poor. And that means your CPA is high, your other metrics are not performing well. So you'll have to decrease the budgets, or at least limit them in a way that you're not spreading poor performance across your account. And then you'll have campaigns that are borderline. So your CPA or your other metrics need work. So you want to work on other items that I have discussed during the webinar to reduce the wasted ad spend, and start raising your budgets slowly so you can increase the budgets, but at the same time increase the budgets in a healthy rate. But I'll repeat myself, you have to work on reducing the wasted ad spend for those campaigns before you increase the budgets. Because it will create the same. Otherwise, it will create the same effects as poor campaigns. Your metrics across the board will go down, and you'll waste a lot of money. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share for this little bonus section. Listen to it again, and I will also be sending a couple other emails with additional resources related to the webinar that we have discussed.